All Lent, we as a parish have been walking together on a slow and steady climb towards Easter joy. Tonight, we can proclaim with the words of St. Augustine, the patron of our diocese, we are Easter people, and Alleluia is our song. A pastor was telling some little children at school about the gospel narration of the arrest and the crucifixion of Jesus. And as he was teaching them about some of Jesus's last words on the cross, he asked, what was the last thing Jesus said before he died? And one little child in the back raised her hand and answered, Jesus said, I will be back. There's some deep theology in that. I will be back. I'd like to pose just two little questions tonight for our consideration, because we still have a lot to go here. But what does it mean to be Easter people? And what does it mean, I will be back? Perhaps the story of another little child can help us answer these questions. A class of fourth graders decided that they wanted to put on an Easter pageant for their parents. They wanted to enact what happened to Jesus on Easter morning. So their teacher helped them by coming up with a list of all the characters that they would have to play. She then spoke to each of the students asking what role he or she would prefer to enact. Of course, many of them wanted to play Jesus, or one of the soldiers, or one of the angels, or one of the women who came bearing spices. But when she came to a young little boy named Kevin and asked him what he wanted to be, Kevin responded quickly, I would like to be the stone. The stone, said the teacher, taken back by the response. We don't have any lines for the stone. There is nothing you would be able to say. That's okay, said Kevin. I'll be happy just to roll away at the appropriate time. So since she had more children than roles, she allowed Kevin to be the stone. The play was a great success. Afterwards, the teacher went to all the children to thank them. When she came to Kevin, she first of all thanked him for the excellent job he did rolling away across the stage. But then she asked him, Kevin, tell me why it was so important to you to be the stone. It was not, after all, the biggest role. Oh, I know, said Kevin, but I really wanted to be the one who let Jesus out of the tomb. Well, little Kevin was not a theologian. I think he beautifully expressed a deep theological point. As Easter people and ambassadors of Christ, we are called through baptism to let Jesus out of the tomb and to bring him into our lives, into our families, into our communities, into our relationship with others. Through our commitment to Christ, through the holy moments that we've done, through reconciliation with others, and through good example, we can be the stones that let Jesus out of the tomb and become the lasting presence that changes each of our lives. Jesus comes back to us in the sacraments, in our compassion for the poor, in our prayer, in our faithfulness to his mandate to love one another. Tonight, in a few moments, at our Easter Vigil, 3 adult women will be baptized and will receive the sacrament of confirmation and approach the altar for the first time to receive the Holy Eucharist. One young adolescent will be received into full communion with the church. They have been on a slow and steady journey through the rite of Christian initiation for adults. And through the dedicated leadership and example of John and Sylvia Dillon and their sponsors, they have chosen to become one with us in our Catholic community. We wholeheartedly welcome you with great joy. We welcome you, and we promise it's the best of our ability to support you by our prayers and our good example. At a time when many are walking away from organized religion, you have chosen freely to enter in communion with us in the Catholic community. They will join with us, and you will join with us in declaring tonight, we are Easter people, and Alleluia is our song. So on this Easter vigil, let us sing with joy several times, Alleluia. The risen Christ can give us power. The risen Christ can give us clarification when we struggle with the questions of life. The power of the resurrection can give us commitment and confidence in the way of Jesus. But first, we must roll away the stone. Alleluia. Jesus lives. He is back. We are Easter people, and Alleluia is our song. And as Isaiah said in the last reading, the three in the beginning of our service, let us go to the water.